This programme has been made by Focus ARBD. Focus ARBD is an advocacy group for people with alcohol-related brain damage living in Scotland. We meet as a group every 3 weeks in Glasgow and work together to raise awareness about alcohol-related brain damage and to campaign for better services.
I mean, when you say to people you've got ARBD, alcoholic-related brain damage, people automatically think that you are a wino. Me, myself personally, if somebody said that to me years ago, I'd have went, that's self-inflicted.
We've all got life stories to tell before we got into the situation we're in. We didn't all come from deprived backgrounds. We're not all uneducated. Alcohol doesn't pick and choose who it's going to strike, and the ARBD certainly doesn't. It can strike anyone.
One of the other things that you might get a request from Ayrshire, they've started running courses for staff about understanding ARBD, and they might want to come and ask you if some of you will take part. Because
I don't have any problem with that, because I just want to get the message across this. There is an awful lot of people out there with ARBD that get no help at all. No one understands what they're going through.
As a group, the way I see it would be to raise public awareness of alcohol-related brain damage for anybody that might have ARBD, for anybody that's associated or related to somebody that might have ARBD but they don't know why they keep forgetting things. It's the what did I get up to last night scenario, but you've had blackouts, but this is lasting for weeks and weeks, and it's now encroaching into the rest of your life.
What we aim to do is get as many folk under this umbrella as we can and make people more aware through Scottish Parliament, your local GP. We have brought out a manifesto because it's not just a problem for a group of people meeting in Edinburgh or Glasgow, it's a national problem. And our whole ambition is to get as many people as we can to realise the water problem, confront the problem, and then do something about the problem.
A group like this is important because we all come from different walks of life. We've all had different experiences. Any information you're going to get from the likes of myself, or I believe anybody else that's participating in this, you're getting the truth.
I was very fortunate, or unfortunate as the case may be, that I was diagnosed with my illness, but an awful lot of people out there have never been diagnosed with it. They think it's early dementia, which it isn't, and that is when people get very, very confused.
I think, first of all, you have to have inner honesty, and you have to say, I'm in a bad way and I need help right now before this gets any worse. The first line of asking for help is, I feel the GP mostly, and it depends very much on their attitude to you.
When you are diagnosed with the illness, there is not enough information out there for us with ARBD to read and know about our illness. If you've got the measles or chicken pox, everybody knows how to deal with that. But you tell people you've got ARBD and it makes people rather standoffish towards you. And there's got to be more out there to let people know that when you're diagnosed with ARBD, it's not the end of the world, which I thought it was.
Our main goal is to get the message out to GPs, nurses at the front line, that the person that's been brought in, drunk or whatever, might have more difficulties than first noticed. Because the secret is to get this at the onset. But sometimes it seems to slip through GPs' nets.
How many workers out there really know what ARBD is? And that's a message that we've got to get across to social workers, that we're not down and outs, we're not all drunks. We cannot change our past, what we've done, but we can build a better future if we get the right people to realise what ARBD does and how it affects them.
It depends on your luck. If you're relying on social care, if you have a social worker who's willing to listen and help you, that's a huge step forward. But for every good social worker, there might be another one who's so overwhelmed with people's needs that they simply don't have the time. I have been extremely fortunate in the social workers I have come into. They are wonderful. They are angels. But for every angel there might be another devil somewhere.
I think the most thing about ARBD is the realisation that I'm not as clever as I think I am. So I've got to do a bit of groundwork so that I can pass myself off as being a bit better than I am, and it may camouflage how bad the ARBD is.
To me, I still feel I need support going out. And I wasn't even drinking, I was losing my balance, I was just falling over, and that made me feel self-conscious of going out again, you know. And then I was frightened to go out in case I was falling. Infection never away. My whole body, mind, memory.
Tell you what happened 30 years ago, 40 years ago, word for word. But don't ask me what I done yesterday or today. No memory at all. It can make life very, very hard, because someone could say something to you, and if they don't know that you've got this illness, they can get rather cross with you. It makes me very, very nervous and highly strung. The most scariest thing in the world to me is not having a memory.
I honestly can't see that I've been that much altered by it. I do a lot of reading, and I think I'm quite aware of what's happening around me, and the only thing I'm frightened of is having one drink in case I go down the same path. I mean, I've had so much fantastic help. Maybe that's the reason why I think I'm okay now.
We were trying to set up meetings in other areas who are also beginning to think harder about the best sorts of services for people with ARBD.
You know, I just think the size of Glasgow, there should be more help out there for people with ARBD, which there isn't. That's different if you're in a group or you're in a housing unit, but if you're on your own, there is not a lot of help out there.
We know that by experience that some areas are better than the other, but we're hoping to make each area better than it is, so that the avenues you can get in are there for you.
There is an ARBD team in Glasgow, but I don't know if there is any more ARBD teams out there at all. And the work that the team do in Glasgow is excellent.
The north east of Scotland, maybe I'm terribly wrong, but I've never heard of anything like what we have here up there. And up in a place like where my family is, if you had an alcohol problem, it would be, shh, don't tell anybody. You're shaming us. I think that, especially when it's women who are alcoholics, like they always think, how could you have looked after your family? But I think perhaps if it's men, it's maybe more understandable. And a city like Glasgow has a sort of male culture of drinking. So I don't know about any other country, but I think in Scotland people are very judgmental of a drunk woman.
Well, funny out of the meetings, that to a certain degree people think that the stigma is maybe the most important thing to what the illness we've got, especially among the females. You know what I mean? And the stigma attaches to everybody to a certain level.
It's nothing to be ashamed of, because I'm in the fortunate position to know that I've got it and I'm getting help with it, and things are getting put in place so that I can move on and live with it. Your intelligence is never lost. You're still the same guy, same lassie, it's full of fun, carry on, and you can do things, it just takes a wee bit longer.
I think you can feel confident when you come into this group, because we're all in the same boat and we all understand each other very well, completely non-judgmental.
I'm here to learn and listen and try and put my experiences forward for somebody else to say, or maybe even show a bit of empathy with, and say, well, hold on, I can understand how he's feeling because I've done it. And hold on, I know somebody that's been doing that road, but I didn't realise what it was. So I can maybe put a block on it before it gets too bad, and see if we can maybe get somebody else back onto the straight and narrow, and the recovery time won't take as long as it's taking me.
We're all going through the same thing, we can all relate to each other. You find out what somebody's got, you think you're the only one that's got it. And then you hear somebody else saying it, you go, you're not alone. You're not embarrassed to say how you feel or the rest of it. It's brought me myself more, getting my confidence back and things like that.
The help through this small group, and you imagine if this was magnified, you know, when 6 goes to 60 and 60 goes to 600, and the benefits that we're getting was manifested to, whoever out there needed it. That seems like all our ambitions, to get everybody aware, involved, and forget the stigma.
I think one of the most important things is, even though you have a bad memory, everything is wrote down so we know exactly what is happening. And I find that I can get a lot out of these meetings because we talk about the future. We never, very rarely, do we talk about what we've done in the past. To my mind, these meetings are something for the future, which I find very, very good.
You're walking that wee bit taller, smiling a wee bit up earlier, doing things that you've never thought of. You've got confidence to talk to people you might never have met before, you might never meet again. This is a pleasure to me. This has helped me move on.
If you'd like to hear more about what the group's doing, you or a family member or someone who works with you can contact us via our support workers, Sally and Chris. Sally's number is 07917 324 615. Chris's number is 07917 283 760. Please share this programme with anyone else you think might be interested.